He used to say that there are only two sources of human vice, idleness and superstition, and only two virtues, activity and intelligence. So he used to say, so he means that he used to say this, there's only two sources of human vice, human badness, whatever, human bad stuff that human do. One is idleness.
Idleness
means you don't do anything.
Okay.
And the other superstition, you believe in something that you can't prove. Superstition, like a god or something, you believe in stuff.
So it means the two things bad.
He believes there's two things bad in
Two
human.
sources means
Yeah.
two things.
Cause everything else. Sources means cause everything else.
Cause everything else?
Yeah, two sources mean everything else. Everything comes from these two things. That's what he's saying.
Everything comes from
Every badness about human being comes from these two sources.
which is
Idleness and superstition. And only two virtues. Yeah, and there's
It's
only two
good?
virtues. Only two good virtues, yeah. Activity and intelligence. So activity means you're not idle. You're always doing something.
Yeah.
Intelligence, it means that you're using your head. You're not,
not superstition.
which is just believing something. But I don't think those are exactly different from each other. They
It's
don't.
true.
Yeah, they're not. Doesn't mean they're.
Let's believe yourself. Let's believe the God, maybe.
Believe something. He himself undertook his daughter's education, so he teach his daughter. He undertook, and to develop these two cardinal virtues in her, to develop these virtues, which is what? Activity and intelligence. Cardinal means like important. Cardinal, kind of like very very important direction, like north, south, east, west. Cardinal virtues in her gave her lessons in algebra and geometry till she was 20. So she was learning math until she was 20, algebra and geometry.
Well, geometry is what?
Geometry is kind of like a math, one type of math. You just use figures and whatever, triangle, circle, and stuff.
几何 and this is
Algebra, it's like x plus x plus.
代数 okay.
And arranged her life so that her whole time was occupied, and so she was always doing something.
Rent the daughter's life.
So that her whole time was occupied.
Ah.
He was himself always occupied. He himself was always occupied. Writing his memoir, solving problems in higher mathematics, turning snuff boxes on a lathe, working in the garden, and superintending the building that was always going on at his state. Okay, so anyway, he just keep himself very busy. He's writing stuff, he's solving problems in math, he's turning snuff boxes. It's just a wood box, okay, on a lathe, something that goes around and round, so you can make it look prettier. Snuff box is probably something circular. You can open it, smell things from it. That's what a snuff box.
Snuff box on a lens.
Lathe is something. It's like a equipment that goes round and round. So you can cut wood that way. Working working in the garden or or looking at the building that was in the state.
Looking at the building.
Superintending.
What for?
No, your superintendent, like boss or whatever. So in your workplace, you might have a superintendent, which is somebody who's watching your work. So he's watching the work in the building.
Okay.
As regularity is a prime condition facilitating activity. Regularity. So this is a good sentence. As regularity is a prime condition facilitating activity. So that's a good sentence.
You didn't finish the sentence.
I do not need to finish.
Why?
I'm just saying as regularity is a prime condition facilitating activity. You need to understand that. Regularity means regular. Is a prime condition, important condition.
Yes.
To make easy activity. Facilitating means to make it easier to do activity. He always wants to be active, okay? Every day he wants to be doing something, right? Active. So he's saying that the one way to do that one important way is to have regularity. You always do the same thing. Regular.
Regularity.
Yeah, regularity means you're regular. You always do the same thing every day.
It means regular. You should do the same.
No, making things regular helps you to be active. That's what it means.
Making things become regular help
you to be active.
You to be active.
Yeah.
Active.
Active. Yeah. Means you're always doing something.
Just make all the things regular, and every day you don't need to think about when you do or what
Yeah, you
do.
don't have idle time, in other words. You always
Okay.
have something to do.
There's no time for you to thinking. You're just doing things.
It's not about thinking. Thinking is also doing something. What he doesn't want is idleness, not doing anything.
Just think.
Thinking is also doing something. I told you already. To think is also do something. Idle does not mean thinking. So if you're idle, even you're idle, you don't think. You don't do anything. You just sit there, relax, whatever.
Oh.
That's idle.
Okay.
Regularity in his household was carried to the highest point of exactitude. Regularity in his house was carried to the highest point of exactitude, like very exact. Everything is regular in his household.
Exact means
Everything exact. Every little
the
part
time,
of his household.
The seconds, what happened, right?
Yeah.
On when you should do something.
He's always come to table under precisely the same condition. He always comes to eat to table. Okay, come to table under precisely the same conditions. Under the same condition. So he always comes to eat at the same time, probably, and not only at the same hour, but at the same minute. So he comes to eat at the same hour, same minute. He doesn't change that.